I move into this house and I'm in LA and I'm ready to teach. Professor Louis R. Pondy, he types me this letter. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but he says, Dave, you're truly an amazing fellow, Dave. You have a rare ability to have creative ideas and put them into practice. I'd like to do my own little part in giving you as much room to operate as possible. You can be a multiplier for a large-scale organizational change. Can you imagine your doctoral advisor sending you a letter like that? By the end of the semester, I was like popular because I was the only one doing non-lecture in 14 sections. And so I was just different. I don't know. I was popular because I was different. And then I took the down ride. Okay, what's the down slope? The tipping point can tip down. And once you get past the point of no return, the tipping point gets deeper down. And not only did I fail at tenure at UCLA, they said I was the worst teacher, the worst scholar, and the worst human being. And there was no way I was going to get tenure. And that was in my second year.
Did they say why?
They just said I wasn't excellent enough. They said they weren't going to count my 2 ASQ articles because those were written with joint authors. They only counted single authored work. They didn't count any work with doctoral students. And it had to be in a top tier journal. So I was working on this, learning the storytelling, teaching ethnography, phenomenology, and teaching this course. It was called the nuke, like nuclear explosion. It's 35 students in a room and sitting in a circle, and you're supposed to do phenomenology training with them. That means Wilfred Beyond. I don't know if I know Wilfred Beyond, but in that phenomenology, you don't provide any leadership in order to teach leadership, so that these young 25, 30-year-old MBA students, mostly economics majors, would, in their undergrad, would be able to learn leadership because they'd start pairing. That's where they form lovey-dovey relationships and go off to the side, or they start fighting, you know, or they try to draw you into their love and fighting, and they try to fight with you. And it's called consuming the teacher, consuming the leader. So they try to consume you, and by you're sitting there and doing nothing and providing no leadership, you don't save them. You sit there for 2 hours and they take over the classroom. I was used to leading a much more structured kind of 14 section coordinating management courses. Anyway, so I was teaching the nuke. So anyway, my fate was sealed, and then I didn't have tenure. My business, I'd started a business, that failed. I didn't know you could work at another university. Eventually, I was a walk-in at Loyola Marymount University. And I don't know if you know what a walk-in, it means you don't have a job, that you're taking over for some visitor. I mean, somebody's on sabbatical or something, or they're off doing something or other. So I'm teaching courses in management, again, but I'm teaching it using the greenback, experientials, storytelling all the way. When I got teaching there, my colleagues at UCLA say, you are going to fail miserably, Boje, because that's a teaching university. They expect people to know how to teach. You've been an academic teaching phenomenology and systems theory. You were going to fail big time. I said, okay. But if I'm going to fail, I'm going to do it my way. This is career, baby. When you fail at tenure at UCLA and you go to the Academy of Management Conference, do you think anybody pays attention to your Loyola Marymount University badge? UCLA never had a real position for me. Found out years later that that job never existed. They never had a job. By the way, you said it was a great place right now. It's a wonderful place to work. And they pay their people more than $30,000 a year, which I was getting paid, which you cannot raise a family on $30,000 a year in Los Angeles.
No.
So I was always working 3 jobs. And so when my business failed and I went bankrupt and I stepped on to Loyola Marymount as a visitor, I was a nobody, you know? And in that first year, I got Teacher of the Year for that university and the business college. They gave me another visiting assignment the next year for another person on sabbatical. I got Teacher of the Year again. Then I got an invite to be assistant professor, tenure track, got Teacher of the Year. Every year I was there. Every year. You know? And that's how you build a career. And when nobody paid any attention to me, I had no doctoral students at Loyola Marymount. I published that article in Academy of Management Journal and Administrative Science Quarterly. Both those articles came out, both single authored. Both those articles would have got me tenure at UCLA, by the way, if they had an actual position, according to the rules. By this time, I'm a thorough workaholic. I'm drinking a whole lot. And I decided to stop drinking. And I decided to stop being a workaholic. Obviously, that failed. And that's when I met Grace Ann. And I had my divorce after 25 years before Grace Ann, by the way. And things went downhill at New Mexico State. I was the department head. Grace Ann was supposed to have a job. She never had a job. They decided, the new dean decided that since I was department head, she couldn't work in the business, in the management department, and the other departments wouldn't hire her, so she became an adjunct. There is something that begins to happen to me after I stopped drinking. A lot of people stop dying. It's not a causal relationship. It's just stuff happens. So my dad dies in 2002. My mom dies in 2010. My brother Steve dies in 2007. My brother Steve dies of a heroin life. He kind of cleaned up his act, but all of his organs failed by then. My sister Karen dies in 2017. She had cleaned up her act, been an alcoholic, then an alcohol counselor, but I'm the one that came out of this dysfunctional family and went to college and had a chance at a good path. The rest of them died. Now, my little brother, Kevin, has been homeless most of his life. And I hear from him every few years, and has had addictions to various drugs. So I wish him well. I hope he's well. I don't know where he is. So when that thing starts to uptake after 2017, it's about when I retired from New Mexico State. New Mexico State was a tough job for 22 years because I'm trying to keep a PhD program in there that the college and the university don't want, and do sustainability, which is I keep writing on the picture on the right. That's 4 of my 5 grandchildren. I have another grandchild in Canada with my daughter. So I have now good relationships with the 3 children and my grandchildren, and that makes me happy. I've just finished a vision quest. And what the vision quest had done for me is I went up to the mountain to understand water, but I came back and I'm still processing the vision quest. I had this incredible dream last night, and I woke up wanting to talk to you both about it. Essentially, it was, David, you have continued to live in your workaholic ways, and you live mostly indoors, and you take on one project after another. So rather than really being Gaia, you are just as removed from Gaia as everybody else. And that taught me a big lesson, because I realized that I need to start looking at the stars more and paying attention to the pond life more and taking care of nature more. And that these are the things that are really important about organization and environment. And that's sort of where I'm at with this idea. And I actually did, as Julie was saying, I actually did learn a lot about tipping points. Originally, I thought they were just down points, but as you can see from the tipping points of my career, I go up and down and up and down. Maybe all of you are lucky and you have a linear life path that you just go up, or you just go flat, or you just go slightly down. Mine goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah, going up, because going up is actually a choice. For example, I'm thinking to take on answerability for a part of the environment. Okay, maybe I can't save the whole world. That's impossible. The world doesn't need saving, right, Julia? The world's going to save itself. It's humanity that's in trouble. And the tipping points of my life sort of helped me understand the tipping points in sustainability. So I started really excited to show you about these tipping points. We'll do it next week, I guess, and how they cascade.